So I just took a 15-minute video trying to talk about this, but I figured I would just summarize it, make this easier. So, alright, so these are the fuel injectors that I got from Dax. If you're in the Z community, you probably know them. Just like if you're in the community, you probably know me. Anyway, so look at the color of the pintle caps. These are the ones that I got from him. Now, what's bad about these? They're all orange. What's good about these? They're all the same color, meaning that the temperature was consistent on his motor, although hot. My car, these are 6 years old. The passenger side is still white. The driver's side is still white. Passenger side is orange, and actually this one is particularly brown. This is number one. This is the one that failed. When I parked the car, this one was giving open circuit. It wasn't even giving me a reading. When I got everything apart, this was reading 19.4. I got it to the counter and it's reading 17.4. Still way out of spec, so that injector is obviously bad. 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 12.2, 17, 12.2. So there is a consistency with the Nissans, especially the 300ZX, that the passenger side runs hotter than the driver's side, and that's because of the coolant galleys. Nissan did not clean up the flashing inside the engine, and the coolant typically does not get all the way from one side to the other at the back of the motor, which means that one side runs hotter. Also, number one, being the farthest away, typically runs the hottest. I just found it interesting, so I'll be changing this injector out for one of the other good ones in this bag. And that one's just dead, straight up. OEM Phase 2 injectors are supposed to be in spec. They come at 10 ohm, and anything from 8 to 12 technically is in spec. So this one at 17 is way out of spec, and this one at 12.2 is just out of spec, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that one to be safe. Plenum's off. To summarize my bitching in the last video, which I'm not going to upload, this wasn't that hard to take off. It really wasn't. This crap back here was a pain in the ass. This was the biggest headache to me because these two connectors are at the back of the motor against the firewall. And then the harness goes through here, loops around, and connects to this shit. What the fuck, Nissan? Why would you do that? You did so many other good things with this motor and this engine, and then there's some very questionable, like, why? So anyway, this is going to get, at least the bottom is going to get sanded, cleaned, and then painted with ceramic paint. The top, I'm undetermined if I'm going to do that or not. It'll reduce intake temperatures, but it's not going to reduce my temperature at the injectors. Also, the white, I guess, would look okay with that. That, ultimately, I can't get powder coated the exact same color again, so it doesn't matter to me. This is going to be left apart for now. The fuel lines need to be completely replaced. I thought I could keep them, but there's no way in hell. Like, my harness is brand new, basically. And the fuel lines, I had to cut several of them off just because they were so fucking hard. I mean, this looks okay, kinda, on video, but it's really not, because it should be a lot softer than what it is. And then, like, these were completely formed to the tubes, and the crimps did not want to come off. So fuel lines need to be replaced. The other elephant in the room, while I've got it apart, see the valve covers? See the oil on the valve covers? See the oil going down the side of the valve covers in the engine? What about over here? See that oil? I hadn't planned on it, but while I have this apart, I need to change the valve cover gaskets. There's really no way around it. Otherwise, I'm going to put this all back together, and in another couple of years, give or take, the leak, how fast the leak progresses, I have to tear it apart again just to change that. And as many of you know, I'm fucking lazy, so I don't want to do that. Anyway, that's a whole another can of worms right there. I like to have one running car. Well, let me rephrase that. I like to have one running car that isn't slow as shit. Also a piece of shit. Fucking hate this thing. Alright. So anyway, that's that. I don't think there's any way to help insulate these any more than what they come stock. There's a rubber O-ring that helps insulate the rail from the engine on each of these. Past that, there's not really anything you can do. I mean, maybe I could paint the fuel rail with the ceramic paint, and maybe that would help. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I have no clue. From there, I'm just looking to get the thing running again. I got to get the control arms, the front upper control arms off the car. I wanted to do this first and get it out of the way. The upper control arms are easy in comparison. I just have to get the car off the ground, take the wheels off, take the arms off, and ship them to Power Tricks. Charles has already said that he'd look at them. They can probably be repaired for a portion of the cost instead of having to buy new arms outright. Although I was considering that because, again, I'm lazy and I would rather just swap the arms out. But I'm just kind of frustrated at this point. This car has sat for a year, and I go and take it all apart thinking I'm just going to change out the fuel injectors, drop the new rail in, hook the lines up, we'll be good to go. And I don't know, Z, I should have known better. In any case, the battery's been sitting there on the concrete since. I'm charging it up now because basically by the time I post this video, yeah, it'll be good to go shortly. I just gotta get the valve cover gaskets, change them, get some new fuel line, and change that. And yeah. And do forgive this mess. I have a roommate that's moving out, so pretty much all of this is his. I had no place to put that, so it was there. We had it in the lawnmower, and it was pretty fucking creepy. People would drive by and see this bear staring out the fucking windows. Massive, not life-size, but human-sized bear. It was pretty epic. I still have a car door to put on the Z at some point. This has been sanded, but it needs to be painted or something. I don't know. The door on my car is crushed in, so that's the reason for changing it. Also, the lock, the actuator is on its way out, so that's about to snap. But I have no idea what the status of the actuator is on that, and I don't have a key to this door, so it's a trade-off. I changed the door, and it's going to be, I'm going to start looking like a 240 in a moment, if I put this door on, because it's not going to match the paint. And then I won't have a key to lock it, so I'll have to change the lock cylinders or change the handles. And yeah, again, I'm lazy, whatever. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks go out to my friend Dax in the Z community for these injectors. If you're in the community, you probably know him, probably know me. And I just broke the panel cap. Shit. Anyway, that's all for now. Fragile.